She said to her friends, this is what happened in the beginning, and I've got this from a very reliable source. She said to her friend, I want to come to the UK because I want to meet an Arab prince. Right?
And said she got a ginger one.
She got a ginger one. That's what she was lining herself up to have.
Because she wanted the money.
She wanted the money.
Well, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry gave us some of the worst moments of 2025. At number 44 on our countdown is when the fake Duchess's PR stunt, bizarre PR stunt, exposed the misery of Prince Harry as she staged a celebration of the World Series alongside her clearly unimpressed husband. Watch. I mean, Orla, that is what you call performative happiness, isn't it? And Harry can't even hide his misery about having to deal with that woman and her weird social media. And remember, this is a guy who says he's so traumatized to be photographed ever because of what happened to his mother all of those decades ago. Okay, fine, I understand that. But it's your wife who is actually now the biggest paparazzi. She's secretly filming you at home. She's secretly taking pictures of you wherever you are to post on social media. So spare me the lectures about the paps, Harry, because the pap is actually in your bed.
She is the biggest media whore, isn't she?
Yes.
She really is. And
she's
she
awful.
is so disingenuous. And she so that laugh, it literally pierces through my mind, pierces through my ears.
It wasn't
She's
authentic,
so dreadful.
was it?
Oh no. And and he looks like he's in a coma. And the thing is, ultimately, no matter what Harry, and I'm not a fan of either, and what he's done to his family, I think is atrocious. But you know, look at him and his upbringing. He has been brought up in a royal family, stiff upper lip, blah, blah. And he's got the most hysterical, disgraceful, you know, horrendously attention-seeking wife. It must be completely opposite to everything that he is.
It's a bipolar.
Do you know what I
to
mean?
him.
Yeah.
Complete bipolar.
Absolutely. It's bizarre.
She wants to be photographed. She wants to be videoed. She wants to be in the limelight.
She'd have OnlyFans. She'd have OnlyFans, wouldn't she?
She probably has.
She would.
Has.
Seriously, Meghan's OnlyFans will be coming, right? Because, guys, they don't have money.
No.
I mean, how are they going to pay for this
Their titles
house?
stripped.
Yeah,
their
they really
titles do
It's-
need to
it's-
be stripped.
Yeah.
That it's beyond a joke now.
I mean,
Because
Andrew's been, shifted.
and
he
they
needs
bring
as well,
the family into disrepute.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe wholeheartedly in the royal family anymore. I believe once the Queen died, it was dead. It's gone. However,
Really?
Meghan and
is that
Harry are
because
awful.
You feel that Charles has waded too far into politics, his support of the World
Well, he's a
Economic
Muslim
Forum, that sort of
now.
thing,
He might as well be a Muslim now.
and his support of Islam.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a royalist. I love the
Me
royal
too.
family. I'm a royalist. I love William. I love Kate and their kids. I think the rest
But
of
I
them.
don't love Charles.
No, I think Charles. To be honest, I think Charles has a responsibility to deal with what is happening in this country as the head of, as the monarch, and I think he's failing miserably. But I think, to be fair, do you know what he strikes me as somebody? He's an older man now. He strikes me as just being exhausted. He just wants to go around hugging trees.
He's involved in stuff that he shouldn't be involved in. He's like getting
But
involved in net zero.
I don't think he's involved enough.
No, but I don't think he should be trying to push certain politics
No, I
and
agree with
certain
that.
views
Yeah.
because
He's
as
the
a
head of
monarch,
the Church of England.
as a monarch,
Yeah.
there is a role and there are certain things he shouldn't be involved in.
And as a queen, you know that yourself.
I do.
She's a queen who's involved in all sorts of politics. Look, at number 43, actually another Ms. Markle moment. This is when she appeared on a podcast with another, to use Orla's term, media whore. This woman is called Jamie Kern Lima. I promise you, we never wanted to know about this woman. Unfortunately, she was introduced to us in 2025 because this was probably the most insufferable interview of the year, with certainly the most cringeworthy moment. Watch.
As the 50 worst of 2025 countdown continues, Dan is joined by Sarah White, who makes a headline-grabbing claim about Meghan Markle's early ambitions before joining the royal family. According to Sarah, Meghan's original plans for coming to the UK were very different from the story later presented to the public, a claim that has reignited fierce debate online and across alternative media. The panel stresses that these are assertions and opinions, not established facts, but agrees they raise serious questions about narrative building, image making, and how stories evolve once fame and power enter the picture.
One of the things with parenting, you watch as you're building their confidence and their self-esteem, a word that I use a lot with them is yet, and how to reframe things for kids when they're like, I can't do it. I can't do it yet. No, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough yet. And the more that you put into practice these ideas of like, put yet at the end of nearly every sentence, and you feel like there's still hope and a promise that you can do it.
Yes.
But when I type that to my children before I go to bed, guess what? Like, I'm teaching that to them, or I'm reinforcing that, but I'm also reinforcing it for myself.
Yes.
Like, I don't know yet. I'm not sure.
I'm just going to say that applies to every adult. That applies to me right now, all of us.
Yeah. Like,
yet.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
My business hasn't gotten traction yet. No one's picked up my book proposal yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet.
Shall we try it, guys? Shall we try it? Come on. Okay.
Oh, come on, go. Sarah, I forgot to put my makeup on yet. I want to be natural yet.
It's like an episode of Friends. It's so like, oh my God. No, what you're doing, Meghan, is you've been watching your nanny look after your kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's again, disingenuous.
Please do not tell me, oh my God, she hasn't raised her kids. She's not raising her kids. It's a nanny all the time.
100%. Yeah. And you know what she was talking about in regards to that email was that rather than actually spend time with her children, she claims that at the end of every day, she writes them a note on her computer,
Be back later.
sends it to an email address for them to read when they're an adult, which seems like a ridiculous performative move, which is actually nothing about, as you say, Sarah, being a parent who's there for your children.
She's awful. I'd like to get her and Gwyneth Paltrow and put them in a cupboard and lock the door and never see them again. They are the most... Look at this thing here. Oh, yet. They are... I mean, who is this creature, this other one?
Oh, it's the only one that will give her any airtime, probably.
They are
Yet.
so... I know, they're just so... What's the word? I don't even know the word.
We're best friends.
Yes.
Oh, it's vile.
But the thing is, I think that interview was such an insight, right? Because if you surround yourself with people like that, no wonder you believe that you're something you're not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's so unintelligent.
Yeah.
Do
And
you
a
know what?
sycophant, a total sycophant.
That's exactly the word.
She's got that. She's.
Can
the
you
best.
imagine
I am.
how nauseating she must be to be married to?
I know.
I mean, and
which is why you see that misery from Harry.
he just must think. And the thing is with Harry, he just cannot say this has not. I've made a mistake.
No.
He can't. He can't because it's just on every level, family, nation, everything that he has done and sacrificed. He cannot now turn his back.
She entrapped him, but you're so right. He put everything on the line. So his credibility is shot
anyway.
if he admits this was a mistake.
I know.
And of course he wants to. I mean, this is a very dysfunctional marriage. He's a very unhappy man. Now, I've been reporting for well over a year that they are effectively living separate lives.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can come back because I don't think we want him back. I mean, do you think the British people would forgive him now if he were to hold his hands up and say, look, this was just a terrible mistake?
If he came on and said, and he did like a tell-all and said, I made a terrible mistake, I thought she was genuine. I think he was a very bad judge of character, but I think he's a bit thick.
Dan is also joined by Orla Minihane as the panel revisits what they describe as Prince Harry and Meghan's most damaging media moments of 2025. From the much criticised World Series appearance to the controversial introduction of Jamie Kern Lima and accusations surrounding the naming of a failed podcast project. The panel argues these episodes contributed to growing public scepticism and reputational decline. Rather than rebuilding trust, the panel believes these moments deepened fatigue and intensified backlash. If you appreciate independent commentary, open debate and unfiltered media analysis, Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your views respectfully in the comments below.
She tricked him.
And she did.
Oh,
She's
of course,
awful.
massively.
She
She's
didn't
an
know who she
actress.
was. She didn't know who he was.
Oh, no, of course not. She didn't know who Andrew was. And I mean, some of it, Sarah, was actually so twisted, like wearing Princess Diana's perfume. Like, that's playing into his deep, his deep psychological issues.
She's just a full-on actress, and she's living in her own world.
Yeah.
It's the Meghan Markle world. You know, I haven't quite made it. I haven't made it to Queen. Yeah.
Well, and that's the other
awful.
terrifying thing, though, isn't it? That she genuinely still believes that there is a chance she will be Queen of England.
And do you know what the thing is, that really any time you say, and back to the whole left narrative, any time you say you don't like her, people go, because you're racist. It doesn't. I don't care. I mean, she looks whiter than me.
She's tried to make herself look
but
non-black.
The thing is, it's nothing to do with that. When she came onto the scene, everybody was like, you know what? That's brilliant. We're really happy for him. Da, 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 da. And then when you started digging deeper and she revealed herself and her nastiness, people started turning on her. And then when he then jumped or sort of went along with her, and the whole thing went horribly pear-shaped, everybody saw through her, and that's when people turned. It's nothing to do with where she's from.
You're completely right.
And it's awful
And
that people
she is.
say that.
I've known people that have got close relations to the royal family, and they were speaking to members of staff, and they said that Kate is always very respectful.
Yes.
The Queen was always very respectful to staff members, and Meghan treated staff members
prima donna.
like shit.
Yeah,
She
she's
did.
a prima donna.
She absolutely did. And I think it's really important, actually, to raise both of those points. Firstly, that her behaviour, it was appalling. But Orla, also that the British public have been completely misrepresented by this couple for over 5 years now. I mean, I remember covering that wedding, and I was there with Megyn Kelly. Actually, she was at NBC at the time. And honestly, it was one
Joyous.
one of the best moments outside of the London 2012 Olympics. Like, when I look back at the last 20 years, I'm like, you've got William and Catherine's wedding, you've got the Olympics, and you've got Harry and Meghan's wedding. We were completely united. Okay, if we were such a racist country, Orla, do you think we would have been celebrating that wedding in that way?
Right. Do you know what? The British people love Diana, right? Now, for all her mistakes and all her, issues that she had and whatever is irrelevant. Everybody loved Diana, and when she died, and those boys were left without a mum, and they were little kids, the British people took them under their wing and adored them. There was nothing that they could do as wrong. So when Harry met her, and I had a party at my house, and we all wore jazz, and we were like, "This is fabulous," and we were like, "Her dress is amazing," and blah blah. And everyone was so. There is nothing. It's nothing more frustrating than once again the British public are labelled, and by her when she went on Oprah.
Yes.
When she went on there and she said they're racist. How dare you?
Totally.
How dare you? You were a nobody.
When you was welcomed in to this country.
And in the Netflix show, remember, we were presented as being backward racist because of Brexit.
Yeah. She has used the British people to make her famous.
She's used the royal family.
And now she's dropped them to keep her relevant. And no wonder she's so hated. And do you know what? It is not going to end well for her. It is not going to end well. And and do you know what? I actually get so angry when I think about her and the way she treated Kate as well. I love Kate. I feel like I know Kate. I love her.
Yeah.
I
feel like
Kate.
you know everyone. but you don't know her yet.
But it was revolting. And I think, Sarah, I'm so glad that you have made the point about the way that Catherine can treat staff and the way that the late Queen Elizabeth II treated staff as well.
Class. They've got
100%.
class.
And also, there was an understanding when you were part of the Royal Institution. Actually, courtiers and staff members of the Royal Institution, they get a lot of perks, but they do not get paid a lot of money, right? But they are part of something special. This is not like turning up for a normal job, right? They work 24/7. But Meghan was treating them like scum. Yeah. She was treating them like the dirt on the sole of her shoes, because that is a Hollywood way of doing things, right?
And also, with all due respect, they come from, the Queen has been brought up as a queen.
Yes.
She's been brought up in that environment. So has Kate. Meghan has been came from nothing. And rather than saying, you know, I am blessed and privileged, I'm going to treat people as I would want to be treated, she then turns the other way, which just shows a lack of class.
She didn't
and
like it.
Yeah, you can take the girl out of the gutter, right?
But remember, she was treating people like this before she was in the royal family. That's the thing.
true.
This is
It's
part
that
of her
Hollywood
personality. Absolutely,
personality.
because I remember speaking to a director of one of Meghan's films, which she used to shoot between series of Suits, right? And I mean, it's so funny when you think back. Like, these were like straight to DVD type releases, like not big movies. But her demands, this director said, were worse than any other actor he had worked with. And he had worked with true A-listers. She would demand private jets if there was not a first class flight available. Because, you know, between
She's
European
entitled.
countries, like because they were filming in Eastern Europe. And, you know, from London to Europe, there's no such thing as first class. Most flights don't even have a business class option. And he was like, are you kidding? Like,
who
you
are
think
you?
our small production has the ability to fly you on a private jet? Like, you're nuts.
But
That's
she
how
thinks
she
she's
thinks.
Beyonce.
Yeah,
she
does.
thought she was Beyonce then.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then she is a social climber, and she wanted to marry. She was after, who was the footballer she was after first?
Ashley Cole.
Well, so
I mean,
Ashley
Ashley
Cole.
So she comes to the
Cheryl
UK.
Seconds.
She said to her friends, "This is what happened in the beginning," and I've got this from a very reliable source. She said to a friend, "I want to come to the UK because I want to meet an Arab prince." Right?
And said she got a ginger one.
She got a ginger one. That's what she was lining herself up to have.
Because she wanted the money.
She wanted the money.
She's a media whore.
Yeah,
she's
that's it.
She's
That's
a money
all
whore.
she
She
wants.
is. Yeah.
And even now, she doesn't have the money that
No.
she wants.
No.
It was never enough.
You
know
wait
what?
until she will drop Harry, and she will move on, and she will find herself somebody else. It will be some kind of older, really rich man.
Tycoon.
Well, an
and then she'll
Arab
sell-
prince.
You
Yeah.
watch.
Oh, they
this
won't want her
unfold.
now because she's got kids.
She's damaged
She's
now.
tainted.
She's damaged now.
She's soiled
damaged goods.
And yes, face it, the Americans don't really like her because the Americans love the British.
Yes. Well,
So
what we
she's-
have seen this year is a lot of real celebrities absolutely say, no, the people that we want to have a connection with are the British royal family. And I'm talking major celebrities, you know, Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, who have aligned themselves with William and Catherine rather than Meghan and Harry, because at the end of the day, like, if you compare Harry and Meghan's fame in America to Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga,
Nothing.
they're not even close.
No.
Whereas William and Catherine have something which is untouchable. And the thing is, Harry and Meghan had the opportunity to have
They
that.
did.
They could have been
but
a
it
perfect
would
example.
have meant not being about making money
Yeah.
and actually caring
She
about
was
your
never
cause.
going
She
to
didn't
come
wanna
second
work.
fiddle to Kate. She was never going to
she
come
couldn't
second.
cope with it.
Yeah, she couldn't.
No.
And the jealousy, you can see the jealousy. And Kate has
Grace.
She's just fabulous.
So
Well, she
she's
hated her
stunning.
cottage, didn't she, inside the grounds of Kensington
Yes.
Palace? But again, when we say a cottage, it's the type of house that you or me would die to even spend a night in, right? You're on Kensington High Street. But because William and Catherine had a bigger apartment within Kensington Palace, because of course he's the heir to the throne, they weren't happy about it.
Yeah.
So it's mad. Anyway,
Anyway, we digress.
yes,
We digress. We
digress.
love a
But
roll.
another despicable Meghan Markle moment
Oh, no.
actually lands at number 42. Once it was revealed that she ripped off her podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, from a young woman called Katie Mite, who you'd think was exactly the type of person Meghan would want to back.
The countdown then turns to what the panel describes as a deeply troubling media episode. Allegations of a coordinated backlash against Thomas Skinner following his attendance at a private barbecue hosted by US Vice President J.D. Vance. The panel examines whether this was legitimate scrutiny or an example of selective outrage and narrative enforcement within mainstream media. As the countdown edges closer to number 1, the panel asks a broader question. Who controls reputations in 2025, public behaviour or media framing? Subscribe now for the full 50 worst of 2025 countdown and daily analysis of the stories shaping public trust, media power and modern
Okay, so this
influence.
is actually nuts. That podcast was launched back in October of 2023, whereas Meghan's flop podcast was launched in April this year. So she literally stole it.
Who's advising her? Who is her advisor?
I think
No,
she
she doesn't
ignores-
take
Oh, maybe
advice.
she doesn't. Maybe she
Because
doesn't.
she's got that. awe about her. She believes that
And
she's the greatest.
Let's be clear. An entrepreneur is somebody that has created something from nothing with very little help. Normally, they've created an idea. They've worked their asses off. They've done this. What has Meghan ever done? How could she even put herself in the same remit? I'm an entrepreneur yet. What? I mean,
No,
what is
she's
she
not done
talking about?
anything.
Again, she is completely deluded. I actually don't think she's very. I think she's
imposter
mentally
syndrome?
unwell.
Is
I
it
really
imposter
think she's
syndrome?
mentally
A
unwell.
lot of people do think that
I think
now.
she is because she's just. Do you know what? She's got this.
Well, I think it's a combination of being a psychopath and a sociopath.
Yeah,
at the
agreed.
same
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
Because
And
otherwise,
the two
why
together.
would you, number one, rip off a podcast from a woman like that? Then
she probably doesn't even think.
no,
She
and
probably sees
then-
it and goes, I want.
and she just takes.
Yes.
But then, as you say, launch a podcast about being a great businesswoman when you are literally the biggest flop of a businesswoman in the world. And then the podcast was such a disaster, she had to cancel it after one
She couldn't
series.
even take direction from the royal family on how to act like a lady and just turn up to events.
Yes.
That would have been quite simple.
Exactly.
And-
People would have paid her to wear their clothes. People would
Yes.
have paid her to do all these things and be an ambassador. Instead, people want to distance themselves.
That
because
shows she's
such a-
not an entrepreneur.
know.
And she moaned this year about the fact that the royal family had suggested that she wore pantyhose, right, to royal functions. Now, that was something that the late Queen believed in.
Agreed.
Of course, it
Yes.
was her personal choice, but it's like, what's wrong with that? What you were controlled because the late Queen suggested you wore pantyhose?
Because she was an old-fashioned lady and not having bare legs. Bare legs used to be considered to be a bit slutty.
Yes.
And I remember when I started working in the city a long time ago, we were not allowed to have nail varnish or bare legs. You had to wear tights or stockings and you had to have clear nails. And that was it. And that's you either conformed or you didn't work. That was how it was. So her saying, no, I want to, why can't she just do what she's told or do what she's asked now and again?
There's like you have to uphold certain
Certain
standards.
standards.
And as the royal family, anyone as a member of the royal family has a duty to uphold them standards
Yeah.
because you are representing
But
the
that's
whole
thing.
of Great
she
Britain.
does everything she can to be destructive. That's the point.
'Cause it's the Meghan show.
Yeah, it is the Meghan show. It's the Meghan show. And do you know what? Actually, being the last year, being not involved in politics, but having liaised with people in politics, the mindset that I found of some people who I actually think are a little bit suspect, like you say, sociopath, they don't seem to think that there's anything wrong with what they do. They hurt people, they disrespect people.
no
They do what they want,
accountability.
and it rolls off like a duck. If I thought that I'd upset somebody or I'd humiliated myself, which happens quite often, but anyway, but if I thought that I'd done something that was considered to be immoral or nasty, or I would be so apologetic and I'd say I'm so sorry and humble.
Yet.
They haven't got the ability to do it yet. But they haven't
Yet.
got the ability to do it. It's a bad trait in people. It really
they're
is.
they're so up themselves.
Yeah,
though. This
that
is the
they can
problem.
do no
We've
wrong.
met these
Yeah, we've
time
met
and
loads of
time
them.
again
We met
throughout
them
this
literally
year.
every day.
And I think we've had it with those people,
Yeah.
actually. We've had it. And look, actually, on that point, at number 41 on our list of the worst moments of 2025 is the sickening plot from the MSM to destroy the patriot Thomas Skinner after he signed for the BBC's Strictly Come Dancing because he happens to be right-wing. That is why they destroyed him. So the MSM became desperate to reveal a personal story they hoped would bring down the former Apprentice star after he was invited to a barbecue held by Vice President J.D. Vance. The Sun led an investigation into a previous affair and prepared to publish the story, which led the businessman to feel as though he had been forced into a corner and partake in the following interview, which I think was just evil on the part of the Sun. Watch.
3.5 years ago, a long time ago now, but made the biggest mistake of my life. I got asked to do like a free bit of treatment of attractive women, I suppose. Seemed a nice person. There was a single mum. I just trying to help promote their business. Made the biggest mistake of my life, and I had a fling, I suppose. Like, it was nothing more than that. It was the one time. It was a mistake. I woke up feeling absolutely terrible about it. my wife, since I met her, I changed my life around, and I let her down in that brief moment of madness where I weren't thinking, where I didn't appreciate what I had. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Now, look, of course, all of us here will feel desperately sorry for Thomas Skinner's wife, right? And it goes without saying that none of us think that adultery or cheating on your loyal wife is a good thing. So let's park that there for one moment, though, because I think what happened to Thomas Skinner was chilling, because it was nothing to do with this affair, which had happened years and years earlier, and he was completely distraught. What happened is the mainstream media and the political class decided we've got to destroy this guy because he'd had that meeting with JD Vance. His posts on X were like exploding, and he was a serious threat. For a while, it was like, God, this guy could actually run against Sadiq Khan. He could beat Sadiq Khan. And so they destroyed him.
Do you know what?
And it sort of worked.
It did. I was saying to Sarah on the way, I met him and his wife and the kids on holiday this summer. The nicest man you could ever meet. Genuine, generous. People flock to him because he is just so transparent and to destroy. And it's always those people they destroy because they are scared. They're terrified that Joe Blogs public like them. If you are liked and you are seen as one of the people, they will bring you down as quickly. And do you know what? He adores his wife. I said this to you tonight, his little kids. We all make mistakes. And I mean, if we could, and do you know what? He's honest and he's saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. We're human beings. He could have lied and denied it and made up every excuse under the sun, like the majority of people do when they mess up. But his genuine, remorse for what he's done is so obvious. What is going to happen is people like him and people of his ilk that the public the more and more they are attacked and the more and more they are pulled down, the more publicity they're going to get and the more popular they will become, because people are fed up with the destroying of decent human beings. When you get people like Meghan, back to her, put on a pedestal, when people can see through she's disingenuous, dishonest, and not liked, but they're the ones that are made the heroes. And you know what? I love, honestly, the nicest man you can meet. Yeah. And he bought me loads of drinks, which in my book, makes
that was it. Doesn't matter what he done, you can buy me as many drinks you want. I will love you.
People flocked to him.
Do you know Tom?
No, I've never met him.
Because you're both Essex.
Yeah, no, I've never met him. I've heard always good things about him. And at the end of the day, when did it become anyone's business?
Exactly.
What has gone on in his relationship? That's for him and his wife to deal with. And if she's still with him and supportive of him, it's none of our business.
No.
I don't
3.5 years ago.
And also, who decides who's far right? This is what I don't get, because
what is
of his
far
post.
right?
Who decides who's far right?
What's he done that's far right? What's he walked around with a swastika?
I guarantee you, the far right, who is actually the far right, wouldn't like him.
He would be too bosh. He'd be too liberal, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what? He's a white East End man who lives in Essex. He's a bit of a geezer. He talks like that. He loves everyone. Bosh, bosh,
He's down
bosh.
to earth.
Oh, you're a gammon, right wing.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And actually, he's the type of person that our elite class should be embracing. I mean, he's everything we want our people to be, right? He gets up first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Every day he's on that damn market stall because he's going to provide a life for his family come hell or high water.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think it was the JD Vance moment, though, actually more than strictly. Yeah, 100%.
Jealousy, that's
100%.
all it's about.
Because it's like, they think someone like Tom Skinner doesn't have a right to even be in the same room as JD Vance, let alone at a barbecue.
Yeah, so like Benjamin Button, for instance, he would look at Tom and he would be disgusted by him.
Yes.
He's uneducated, he's common, he's everything I'm not, blah, blah, blah. The arrogance of those lefties and the liberals, they think that they literally think that they are above the law. And actually, I guarantee you that Tom Skinner would buy and sell them. 100%. All day long.
Because he's got common sense.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. The people that are in the elite who believe that none of us should have... People got the ump with me going to Poland. Because you shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been with Dominic Trzynski. Why is she there? She's just a commoner from the East End.
And you were there with Tommy Robinson and Middleton and
So
Liam Tubbs.
But then what happens, you don't just get it from the left, you get it from people on the right who are like, well, why is she there and
Jealous.
I'm not?
Yeah.
So there's a real problem.
Yes.
There's a real problem that
And it's like, go and make it happen for yourself. That is the
100%.
point. Anyone can make this happen for yourself. I mean, I'm reading JD Vance's book at the moment. I previously watched the movie, but the really inspiring thing about JD Vance is he came from one of the most underprivileged parts
Really
of the
did.
United States of America. He is now vice president. He broke the cycle. His mother was this drug addict who's also broken the cycle now. And it's like, let's embrace that.
his story is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
And it should
They're jealous. These
They
people,
are
they
jealous.
sit on their keyboards, slagging people off. Me.
They've got 100
At
accounts.
home, at home in their pants.
I can't even run
drinking
one.
Fanta, and they're just like, do you know,
And
it's
a lot of
it's
them on
jealousy.
benefits, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
And guess who's not on benefits? Tom Skinner.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're looking down on him. How dare you?
How dare you?
Now look,
Bosh.
Bosh.
Bosh.